So Frank had a question about good resources for identifying, so speaking of licenses, the types of state business licenses, local tax filings, DBA, local health department. Oh, Frank, I so wish. I wish that there was a resource, one resource I could give you, but there's not. It is all over the place. It's a mess. And the thing is that, so just as like a high, like step back, go up to like 60,000 feet level, there's the FDA, and they're the federal oversight for food. They control or oversee nutritional facts panels, so all your nutritional information, health claims. So anytime, if you have a functional food and you want to make a health claim, you want to be really, really careful. Food safety, of course, facility registration, labeling. So they're kind of the high level. And then they sort of farm out a lot of some of the responsibility, all the licensing responsibility, let's just say, all the licensing responsibility to the state. And then depending on your state, sometimes the state then farms it out to the counties and even the cities, and sometimes not. Sometimes it just stays within the state. The way, for instance, I'm in Colorado. So when you have a food business, you're going to have to make sure you're in compliance with FDA on the labeling and the nutrition facts panel and all that good stuff. And then you're going to have a license. You're going to get a wholesale license through the state of Colorado. And then if you're doing direct to consumer, potentially hazardous foods, so things that need to be refrigerated, then you also need a county license. So that's just for like the food license to sell the product. Now, I have a client in Arizona, and it's just one license through the state, or actually it might be through their county. Now I'm thinking about it. So it really can vary. I have another client in New York, and that's through the Department of Agriculture. So first I hate to say like Google it, but unfortunately, so here's some of the search terms. So it's important to differentiate that you have a packaged food for home consumption or prepackaged food for home consumption. So anytime you're dealing with state taxes or city taxes, any kind of sales tax, or you're talking to your health department, so all the food licensing goes through the health department, you want to be sure that they understand that you have a prepackaged food for home consumption. Licenses are typically different and taxes are different for ready to eat food. So that is like hot food that you would get at a restaurant or a food truck, something like that. So it's ready to eat versus it's in a package. Right? So that's the difference. So good is a really good term to know when you're talking to people at agencies. And the problem is that agencies don't always talk to each other very well, right? And so, and you're dealing with potentially a business license. So some, in addition to a food license. So for instance, in Denver, where I'm at, in Denver County, they have a different business license that you have to get just for the food that's different than the other licenses, just because you're doing business in Denver County. So you want to do thorough searching around like food license for prepackaged food, a business license, because some counties or cities might require it. And then also look up your tax. Do you do sales tax for city, state, or county? A lot of states exempt prepackaged food, and then a lot of counties do, and some cities do. So you want to do thorough searches, and honestly, just calling them or emailing them might be the best way to go. But I've actually had really great service from my Colorado Department of Health and Environmental, CDPHE, Colorado Department of Health and Environment. I would say hopefully in general you can get a hold of some great folks. I also think that the Small Business Development Center is a great resource for these kind of things, especially around like filing an LLC or a trade name. Those are going to be with your Secretary of State. Yeah, I think I answered it in that it's confusing and it's a pain. That's what we do inside Food Business Success, is help you with all of these crazy pieces. Like I said, start a scarf business, super easy. You just need a sales tax license. Start a food business, way harder.